properly? Because on my end, I can't.
I can see you beautifully. And hello, everyone. We are officially live. So going live is always nerve-wracking because because it has to work and everyone's waiting. So welcome, Chantal.
Hi.
This is Catherine. I'm with Keep It Simple Social Media. And this show is called Social Chat. So Social Chat is a show where we interview leaders in their industry, people we discover, people that we think are doing an amazing job on social media. We love their business and we think that they could help people starting up by sharing some tips. So I discovered Chantal on Instagram, and I think it's really great because we teach in class that Instagram is a great platform for businesses to be found and for people to discover and to be inspired. And that's exactly what happened to me with Chantal. I was watching your tips that are really good. I recommend for everyone to actually watch your tips and visit your Instagram channel. So it's JOA Design LLC, right? Your Instagram?
Yes, it is. JOA Designs LLC.
Perfect. So it was great. Absolutely love the tips. I love the IGTV channel. I was like, this lady has got it dialed. So I'm really happy you can join me in the studio. And I will let you maybe introduce yourself. I'll share the screen so it's just you. And by the way, we're live. So if anyone has any comments or question, you can type them in the comment field below. We'll see them pop up on our screen and able to answer them. So I'm going to send the screen to you, and please introduce yourself. Maybe tell us a little bit about what it is you do, the services you offer, and how you started.
All right. So I am Seantal Panton. I am a marketing and convert expert. And basically, I help businesses to grow online by providing web design services, brand development, and marketing consultations. Yeah.
Excellent. And how did you start?
So a couple years ago, I actually began pursuing a degree in nursing first, and I actually hated it. And I decided to switch gears and venture into computer programming, which I ended up really loving. But the only problem was that I was just not getting any opportunity to get hired. So I was at a very a down point in my life. I was just frustrated, and I was like, man, I have all this all this potential, but no avenue in which to thrive. So what I did was I took some time, meditated a bit, and then I got an idea to start my own business in web design and web development. And after dabbling into it for a month, I realized that this was something I was really passionate about. And shortly after that, that's when my business was created.
Oh, excellent. I like how a lot of people kind of start in one path and then move to another. I think it happens to a lot of us, but it's good you find your passion and you made it work. Yeah. Okay, my internet is a little bit slow, so I'm gonna try another speed. So just 1 sec. If you lose me for 1 second.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. I'm gonna hear. Okay, so my question for you. So I visited your website, joadesigns.com. Beautiful website, and it speaks to what you do, which is great. I think you do really good quality work.
Thank you.
It's dark in here. Should I ever ring the light? So I wanted to know, I was reading on your blog, and there's really good articles on your blog. It kind of totally sucked me in. Before I knew it, I'd spent like way too much time reading your blog. And I really like the article that talk about why people are not taking taking your business seriously and why you need a website. So we teach a social media bootcamp for real estate agents and business owners. And often we have to go over the website part for sure, and having a mobile website and going all over this. So I thought this is really interesting. And why people are maybe not taking your business seriously, I thought this was really interesting because I think sometimes people don't even take their own business seriously, even if they tell us this is what I do and we think it's a wonderful product or a great business, but they don't seem to really be embracing it. And then we say, well, if you're not really serious about this yourself, it's going to be really hard to sell it. So I really like your tips. So if you'd like to share some of those, that'd be great.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So, as you mentioned, if you do not take your business seriously, other people won't. And a few sorry. Yeah. So a few ways in which you can identify a person who is not taking their business seriously is they're not consistent, meaning they're not marketing or promoting themselves. They don't have a website. They may have an unprofessional email, or they themselves may be unprofessional. And to me, those are signs that a person is not taking their business seriously. Mm-hmm.
So when you say, what's a non-professional email for people who wouldn't be kind of familiar with that?
So, like, still having a Gmail at the end of there, like Seantal at gmail.com, or, Sue at yahoo.com or AOL.com. I mean, AOL.com. Yeah. So, and surprisingly, I've gotten a lot of people with those at the end of their emails. And to me, today it is so easy to get one. Like, you can go on a hosting company and purchase one for $4 a month. And if you cannot afford to get a website as yet, I think the least a person can do is get a professional email at least.
Yes, and so the way it works for people who are complete beginners is that when you buy a domain name, you can buy a domain name for like at GoDaddy or HostMonster or whoever.
Yes.
You get your domain name, and then you can create an email address with your domain name. So, contact at whatever your business name or your website name, and even and then you can redirect that professional email to your Gmail account if you want. And I think even if you're not ready to have a website, to at least claim your name and have one landing page that says you've reached this, this is how to contact me. It's a good way. So can you talk to us a little bit actually about websites? Because that's a really big part of people's businesses. And I think some people are still not taking really their website that seriously as well.
Yeah, so I think especially in this present day and age, every business owner should have a website. In fact, I think a website should be the center of their marketing plan. Like, so, like when I go to a networking event, a person may ask for my business card, but the reason that they may ask for that is so that they can learn more information about me. And there's only so much information that you can display on your Instagram or Facebook account. And by having a website, it just makes it easier for people to navigate and really check out your business 24/7. So that, like, your website works for you 24/7, even at times when you are not available to answer your clients right away. They can just go browse through your website and find the information that they need. And in addition to that, to me, by having a website, it definitely adds to your credibility as a business. People automatically think, okay, this is a legitimate business. And having a website also acts as a source for collecting leads. So, like, if you're running marketing campaigns on Instagram or Facebook, you want to have a central place to, direct your customers to. So I definitely think you should have a website in this present day and age. Because, like, for me also, when I'm searching for a particular service, I don't go on Instagram. For some services, I don't go on Instagram and I don't go on Facebook to search for that particular service. I go on Google. And millions of people search for services on Google's every single day. And if you don't have a website, you automatically kind of cancel yourself out from gaining that type of visibility. So having a website is important.
Yeah, I really like how you say that you have a presence even if your business is not open, because it's true. And I think a lot of people actually look for other businesses at 9 o'clock at night and try
Yeah.
to find a solution for something. So, and for lead generation, and we talk about that in class as well, is that ultimately social media, you don't own social media. It's a space that you rent, or that other platform allow you to use for free, but you own your website. So if you can drive the traffic off of social media into your website, where you can collect leads either with like a sign up for a newsletter or a free download. By the way, Seantal is a great free download about branding. If you go on her website, I downloaded it. It's great, and it's really good. Even not just if you're starting, but if you already have an established brand, as a checklist to make sure you got all your bases covered. And speaking of branding, so why in your opinion is branding so important, and how can business stay on brand? Because I think sometimes people get a logo done, they think, okay, well, that's the brand, but branding is like something you should be doing in everything you do. So maybe you can address that for us a little bit.
Yeah, so in this present day and age, there are like millions of people who are thinking about starting their own business. And the only way for you to really stand out from the crowd and from the noise, you have to brand yourself. And branding is not just based on a logo, and it's not, as you said, not just a set of colors. Branding is basically every interaction in every form. So it goes to your customer experience, your customer service. It goes to, of course, your website, your processes, your brand story. Branding includes it all. So I definitely think in order for you to differentiate yourself from the crowd, you have to brand yourself and or your company and do it in an authentic kind of way, you know. Yeah.
And so what would be some of the tips for branding apart from just colors and logos?
So I would say you can have a brand story. Like what is
Oh,
the reason why you created your business? What is your why behind your business? Um, your experience, your flow. You know what is it that you stand for? Um, Branding also helps it make it easier for you to advertise as well. So by having a set of colors, people can really pinpoint your company from the crowd because they're used to seeing a particular set of colors on your brand palette. So branding just makes it easier to market. It makes it easier for you to be more memorable as well, and it has a why to connect to. Like there are tons of web developers out there, and the reason why a person may choose me over someone else may be because it's like the why behind my business, because there are tons of great web developers out there. So that's what branding does. It helps, it gives somebody a reason, something to connect to, really. So, yeah.
yes, and I think it's interesting, the story behind the business, and I think more and more in marketing these days, people are buying into the story as much as they are buying into the product, as opposed to being kind of sold all the time. People want to support a company and support someone, and I think it translates to in with your story online and in everything you do and in social media, in the way that people might not be willing to buy or hire you right now, but they can start relating, and when they're ready to make a move, then you'll be kept top of mind because they have that kind of connection already. And I think that's where Instagram story and Instagram IGTV really puts as a good place, because you can tell your story and showcase what's behind you. And then that brings me, actually, it's great because it flows into all my questions. I didn't even plan it. But so my other thing was, so Instagram, your Instagram account, so JOA Designs LLC, is really, really good. It's beautifully curated. The images are great. The IGTV is great. And I know I do video a lot and it takes a lot of work. So I was wondering how you can So everything about it. Let's break it into little pieces. First, how you come up with content, because you do share a lot of really interesting tips. So how do you come up with content? And if you could break it down in terms of technology, because we get asked a lot of questions about camera, about light, sound, apps, editing software, and all the kind of how-to behind it. Because I think some people might go to your account and really enjoy the content and think, oh, maybe I can do something like that too, but I don't know how. So maybe if you want to approach that, it'd be great.
Okay. So I could first address where I gained the content from. So this is my fourth year in business, and I've helped over 80 plus brands to launch online successfully. But with each client that I gained, they always come with a set of different problems. So I would say, yeah, they do. So I would say when you're interacting with their customers, listen, like they actually tell you some of the things that they would like to get more information about. So I gain majority of my content from my clients directly, and it's perfect because when I do post this content, it's speaking directly to my target audience, you know. And then another way is to, of course, always keep up to date with what's going on in your market. That's a great way to gain content. And there's this particular tool that I like to use called Answer the Public. Basically, for this tool, you put in a keyword, and it will populate all the questions that people are talking about on Google itself. So this is a great tool. I always recommend it to my clients if they're struggling with coming up with topics for blogs, that they use this particular tool. And the other question I'll start speaking about is the gear. So currently, I just use my iPhone. I have an iPod, a tripod that I have my iPhone on. And recently, I got downloaded a app called Spark.
Oh yeah.
So I really love the Spark because it's very simple. It's easy to add like music. You can speed up or slow down your videos. Um, It also allows you to add transitions. It also includes a stabilizer in that app. So you can look into that as well. And for lighting, I just use natural light, but I know for each person it is different. You can use a ring light if you want, but for me, I do most of my videos during the day, and I use natural lighting.
Oh. So I'm in Whistler right now in Canada, and it's snowing, and that's why it's so dark. I don't know if you can. This is the skylight. There's like branches and snow on my, so that I'm holding the light. Yeah, I guess if I was in Florida, I'd be so
The benefits, yeah.
But sometimes we had a super sunny day yesterday, so it's really And so, do you use a specific microphone? And what iPhone do you have? Like which model?
So I don't use a specific microphone, but I do use an iPhone 7 Plus.
Oh, okay.
It is.
Okay, this is great because the quality, people might think like, oh, you need an iPhone X to have like good quality. So 7, it means the video is still up there. So that's really great. Good to know. So I guess the bottom line is it doesn't have to be complicated and it doesn't have to be super expensive. You can start with something you have in your purse, in your pocket all the time, and it's your smartphone.
Yeah, and I think people just do like that personal interaction. You know, it's not too staged, it's not too corporate. You know,
right? It's genuine. And so it's Insider Public that you mentioned.
Answer the Public.
Okay, excellent. I'll put it. So this show, so what we do is that we download it and then we put it on our YouTube channel at Keep It Simple Social Media, and then we also put it on our blog, keepitsimplesocialmedia.com, with the keynotes of this episode. So I'll put the links to your accounts and also to Adobe Spark, the app. I love that app, and for the Inside Republic and other things you mentioned. Now, if we go on your website, I thought it was really interesting how you add like a part of your Instagram was it IGTV or Instagram story that was embedded into your website? So how does that happen?
So basically, to be able to do that, you actually have to access it from a desktop. So you go on your Instagram on your desktop, click on the IGTV tab, and then once you click on the video that you're interested in downloading, you will see like three dots. And then once you click on that, it will give you an option to embed a code into your website. You'll get that from there, embedded into your website.
What? This is unbelievable. I had no idea. This is really great. And then by just putting that snippet of that piece of coding, then you actually get it embedded right into your site. And is it heavy on your site, or it just pulls it's still hosted on Instagram?
So it is still hosted on Instagram. So like when people are liking it and commenting on it, it's still feeding into the website, but I haven't had any issues with it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is really great. This is my moment today, because for a lot of people that are wondering, well, if I put all this effort on Instagram and then it gets lost in Instagram stories because they go away, well, with IGTV, it allows you to have videos that are more than 60 seconds. And now you have a way to actually take IGTV, share it as a post, which is great because it shows in your feed and people can click on the little IGTV icon and watch the rest of the video. And now, so from desktop, take it right to your websites. If they go to your website, they connect to Instagram. So I think, I don't know if you think that too, but I think in the last couple of months, Instagram is really pushing IGTV to be user-friendly and more accessible and give it kind of a boost, right? Because it's
I think it's really great. I predict that in the future it may compete with YouTube. So I think right now, when it is not as oversaturated, not, people are not on it as much, I think people should definitely invest into getting on IGTV.
Yes, and for people that are just starting up, so IGTV is actually an app that you go and you get the app on App Store or Google Play, and then the app actually ends up showing into your Instagram account. And there's two great things about it. It's vertical video, so it's really intuitive with your phone, and it goes for more than 60 seconds, which is the standard on Instagram right now on your feed, or 15 seconds, which is the Instagram story highlights. So that's amazing stuff. And then, okay, so recommendation for brands starting up on Instagram. If you had a new brand new client, you were coming, they say, oh, I want to be on Instagram. What should I do?
So the number one thing I always say is to please be consistent, because a lot of people, they would start for a couple weeks or a month, and because they're not seeing the momentum that they're hoping to receive immediately, they may get discouraged and discontinue. But I always tell people that this is like the phase of people really trying to get to know your company and see what you're about. So this is just like the trust building phase. So I would say always be consistent. I would say utilize hashtags, a minimum of 11 to 14 hashtags on your post. I would say look for people prominent in your field who is doing the things that you're doing, and connect. You want to so on the starting stage, you just want to connect with people who have your target audience. So I would say comment on people who are prominent on the feed. If they have a post, comment on there and leave a post of value. So people would if they like your post, they may check you out to see what it is that you do. And that's a great way for you to gain visibility. I would also say take full advantage of all the features that Instagram has to offer, such as the stories, the IGTV, the live videos. They do offer a lot of features that makes it easy for you to engage with your target audience. So those are just a few I would say starting off. If they are consistent with that, they will see momentum that they're hoping to see.
For sure. And we say, I often say you want to hang out in all of the Instagram neighborhoods, and try it out. And the beauty with live and and stories is that, it goes away. So really, if you mess up, doesn't matter. You can delete it, or it will delete itself unless you save it in your highlights and unless you utilize this IGTV. And then a couple last things. If there was one thing you wish someone would have told you when you started in business, what would it be?
So when I started my business, I think it's great to be very confident in where your business is going. I wish someone had told me to get a business consultant, because when I began, I was not niched. So I
Oh,
clients that I could get. I didn't really have a very focused business plan. So I would say I wish someone had told me, Chantal, get a business consultant. This will help you to stay on focus. I would also say get a marketing consultant as well, so that your effort is not scattered. It's more focused, and you can really predict growth in your business. I would say I wish someone told me that upon launching my business, I can't really expect to gain clients immediately like that. It's a pace to it, but to keep at it, keep encouraged. Yeah. So I would say those three things.
okay, those are really good tips. Really, it's to be prepared, like have a plan, and at least sit down with yourself and think about your goals. Really is where you start. And I think the more people are reluctant to hire a consultant because they're starting up and they don't want to spend money, but you will save that money in the end by being more productive and being more efficient and more driven. So I really agree with that. Those are great tips. And so the last thing I need to ask you, because I live in Whistler and I have 3 kids, and my little daughter today, I said, I've interviewed lots of people in Australia and in London, England, but it's the first time we interviewed someone from Florida. And so she said, Mom, you have to ask Chantal if she's seen some alligators. So I said, oh, she probably has. So that's question number 1. Have you seen some alligators lately?
I haven't. I haven't. But in Jamaica, I'm originally from Jamaica. In Jamaica, we see them all the time, but here, sorry, not so much.
No, not too much. Okay. So not too much, but you have seen them in the past. And then the other thing, she wanted to know if you've seen some Panthers, and she said there's only 100 Florida Panthers left. And I said, oh, I think it's a sports team more than something you see.
I haven't seen any Panthers, thankfully, because I would be very afraid if I was to encounter one. But
okay, that's what I told her. I said, you know what, maybe in a zoo hunt, and we have cougars here. Like, we literally have cougars, which are like mountain panthers, and they close the trails for them, but I've never seen them in 20 years too. So I said, you know what, I think they like to stay away from us, which is a good thing. So I had to put it out there because I promise I will. So for people that want to learn more about your company and want to follow you, where should they go?
So you can connect with me at JOA Designs LLC on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook at JOA Designs LLC, but my personal brand is at Seantal Panton. I'm promoting the same thing, which is web design and marketing. And they can visit my website at joadesigns.com.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time today to join us. It was such valuable information. And as I mentioned earlier, this interview is going to be sitting on our Facebook page, and where people can still comment on it. We'll make sure to pass on the comments, and we will download it, put it on our YouTube channel, and have it on our website. So I am going to say goodbye, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. So that's the end of our social chat episode for today. I hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to look at the keynotes, because sometimes you can quickly get some tips to really help you with your business. So we will join you. We'll see you again next week. And until then, have a beautiful, beautiful week.
Bye.